So today's practice is again a 20-minute, 60-minute practice, which means if your time is limited and you can spend 20 minutes on your mat, opening up your hips and lengthening your hamstrings, I'll cue you then to turn off your device in 20 minutes and go into Shavasana just for a little bit of quiet time. And if you stay with me for the 60 minutes, we will resume right after that the rest of the practice. Okay. So coming down on our backs, just again to welcome ourselves to the mat. This morning I'm completely flat, my spine on the mat. I have my soles of my feet together. I have my knees wide. So starting sometimes in this supine Baddha Konasana, this cobbler pose is a little intense. So if you've got a pillow or those blocks, whatever, to put on the outside of the thighs so that you're not trying to hold up those knees. We want everything to relax down. So make yourself comfortable. Close down the eyes. Maybe a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. And just welcome yourself to the mat, to your practice. Take in a full deep breath through the nose and welcome the breath into the body. And as you let the breath go slow, feel the body kind of melt and get heavy on the mat. We soften through the face, release the jaw. Notice the shoulders. Notice any clenching maybe into the glutes. And just see if you can enjoy 3 or 4 full rounds of breath here. And if you have a busy day planned and your mind is kind of like jumping all over the place, just tell your mind to listen to that breath, to listen to the inhale through the nose. Maybe you constrict that breath in the throat, our Ujjayi, victorious breath. And then let the mind watch the breath exhale from the body. So just give the mind a little job here to trace that breath in and out of the body. One more nice big inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands outside of the thighs, draw the knees together. Roll over to one side just to remove if you've got anything underneath you. Heel to toe the feet wide on your mat and just take a windshield wiper. Let's feel into those hips this morning, internally and externally rotating. Notice where you're starting. And then heel toe the feet back, hip distance apart into that bridge position. We're going to press into the feet, lift the hips off of the mat, roll the weight onto the shoulders. And then whatever your block or towel, whatever you're going to use underneath for your supported, I'm going to turn this way, for your supported bridge, just slide it underneath to rest at the sacrum. So as you lower back down onto the block or your support, again, notice whether your low back is resting on that block or the flesh of the skin. You want it right on that nice ledge in between. Squeeze the shoulder blades underneath you, pick up the head, drop the chin in towards the throat, and then put the back of the head back down so you've got a little bit of length here in the back of the neck. Take a moment and draw the knees into the chest. So you're up, elevated in the hips. Let that tailbone roll up, a nice curve, a nice stretch into the low back. And then coming back, let's lift the legs up to the ceiling. Take a moment, let's point and flex through the ankle, pointing again mindfully like we could touch the ceiling. So you get all this stretch in the top of the foot, the top of the ankle, and then reverse that, send the heels way up. So you begin to engage the calf and the back of that ankle, and then continue pointing and flexing. And roll out those ankles one way and the other. And then pause that action and look up at those toes and flare them as far away from each other as you can. And then pinch them in like you could make a fist. And again, toes as wide as you can. And then pinch them in. And then roll it out one more time. Good. And coming to stillness now. On your inhale, really draw the pelvic, the belly into like you could just tuck it underneath your floating ribs. Flex through the feet, and then send the legs wide, a wide V. And just let them fall wherever they want to fall here. There's no place that we need to go. Just beginning to open up the inner thighs. Maybe even bringing your hands to the inner thighs. Just let the weight of those hands add a little bit to the stretch. Again, you're not pushing or pulling, you're just resting them there. Taking in a nice full deep breath. And then you can bring your arms to whatever position you'd like this morning. Take a point into those feet and inhale, draw the legs back up towards the ceiling. So we're going to float this now. Flex and open. Let the legs just fall where they want to fall. Deep breath in, point the toes and draw them back up. And on your own with breath, we're going to flex. Exhale all the air out as the legs go wide. And point and draw them back to center on the inhale. So let's take about 5. Each one a full inhale or a full exhale. And then let's hold it in that wide V. Again, draw attention to your belly. Any tension in your shoulders, in your face, let it go. All the focus here is going to be in the legs and in our hips. One more breath. Point the toes. The right leg is going to go towards the back of your mat as the left leg comes over towards your foot over the head. So we're going to make these semicircles. Take it out wide and then reverse that. Right leg's going to come towards the body as the left leg goes long on the mat. And then just begin to circle. Working the femur right into the hip joint, but at the same time getting a little bit of a stretch through the outer hips and the inner thighs. Good. We'll all meet back into that wide V, legs right and left, and just pause there again. And notice if there's a little bit more buoyancy, if there's a little bit, you feel a little bit more open here. And then draw those legs back up to center and bring the legs down, coming back into that bridge position. Good. So as you arrive in your bridge, be close to the sit bones, hip distance apart, as the knees are parallel to each other. Bring the right knee into the chest. Take a full breath. Lift the right knee up towards the ceiling, interlace behind the hamstring, and draw that thigh in a little bit closer to the body. Let's flex through that foot, flare those toes. Maybe you walk your hands up to the calf muscle. Maybe you can draw in the thigh just a little bit closer. Deep breath. maybe a little bit closer. As you draw the belly in, there might be a little more room there. Deep breath. And then come into that half happy baby. So bending into that right knee, draw that right knee down towards that right shoulder. And then carry that right ankle across the body to rest on the left thigh. Right fingertips come inside that right inner thigh and just coax the right knee away from the body. And notice what you feel around that right hip. Again, we only come to sensation. We're not going to overstrain anything here, just to where you feel a little bit of sensation. Good. And we'll counter that by letting that knee come in towards the chest. Use your hands, just draw it over towards the left side body. Again, beginning to stretch through the piriformis muscle that runs through the glute, sits right on top of the sacrum. So just relax where you can relax and just let gravity do all the work here. Good. And then we'll just bring that leg back to figure four. If you need to use the fingers one last time to just coax that knee away, or maybe it just now automatically knows through muscle memory where it's supposed to be. And then we'll release that ankle and we'll bring the foot down to meet the left foot. Hug in the left knee. Stretch the left leg long to the ceiling. Interlace behind that hamstring. And just gently draw the thigh in close to the body. Again, that knee does not have to be straight. Find some length in the back of the hamstring here. Maybe even walk the fingers up to the calf or towards the ankle, deepening the stretch as you draw the belly in. Again, re-examine any tension that you have in the face. Relax the shoulders. Now one more breath and we'll move into half happy baby on this side. So beginning to bend that left knee, reaching up for the ankle or the blade edge of the foot, draw the knee down to the side body. And again, upper body, make a point to just relax the whole upper body here. When you're ready for that next big inhale, draw that left knee across the body to rest on the right thigh. Keep a nice flex into that left foot. And the finger pads inside that left thigh. Now, left is not my dominant side, so I'm a lot tighter here. And I don't expect this side to perform anything like my right side. So feel into where you go. And as you gently coax the knee away, just to the point where you can feel a nice stretch there. Just relax into the stretch. This was the big one. And one more breath, and then we're going to let it go. Dropping the knee in towards the body, over towards the right. Let the hands assist it as you hug it in. And again, the low back through the glutes to the connection of the hamstring down the IT band here. Just enjoy a breath. And then return that left knee back into that figure four shape. See if it just goes automatically. Maybe it's a little further away because it's a little more warm, or use your finger pads one more time to just coax it open. And then we'll remove that ankle, draw both knees into the chest one more time, give them a squeeze. Again, that nice stretch into the low back. And then stretch the right leg long so that it lands on its heel. The foot is flexed. Press the heel down and press it away. So beginning to work right into that right hip flexor here. As you keep pressing that heel away, relax into the stretch into the psoas on the right side. One more inhale. And on the exhale, rebend into the right knee, bring it into the chest, hug it in as you send the left leg long now. Let it come down gently to the heel. Press the heel down, slide the heel away. Again, notice where you feel the sensation here. And just see, you can just soften, bring your awareness to that hip flexor. Just let it soften. One more inhale. And on the exhale, both knees come into the chest again, hug them in. And now we're going to stretch both legs. So bring the feet down to that bridge, then slide them down your mat to rest on both heels. Take the arms overhead like a full body stretch here. So again, working into the psoas, into the hip flexors, but at the same time, as we reach, we get some length in the side body, the front body, and a small passive back bend in the back body. And enjoy a full breath here. And then one at a time, replant the feet back into that bridge. On the inhale, and once you arrive here, press into the feet, lift the hips up and remove the block, or whatever you're using underneath you. And you can either roll down slowly along the spine or you can come down nice and flat, whatever works in your body this morning. Good. Once you arrive, settle the hip points, settle the pelvis. Take a full breath. Walk the feet out. So again, they're at the edge of the mat, and drop the knees over to the right. So pausing here, take the left hand overhead again. So a stretch from that knee through the side body to the fingers. If you want to deepen that stretch, you just pick up that right ankle and set it on the outside of that left thigh. Again, no work, no energy here. It's just weight and gravity. Beginning to work down that IT band from the hip, outer thigh to the knee. Use the breath, soften the body. Use the breath, let the mind follow. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. So you stay very present here. One more breath. And we'll gently release that ankle. Draw the knees back up to center. Allow yourself, number one, get that pelvis to level out so you can feel both hip points. And then drop the knees over to the left. So just pause here. And then you can deepen it if you did on the other side. Use that left ankle, pick it up, place it right on the outside of that left or right thigh. Again, the weight will just deepen the stretch naturally. And we'll complement that by taking that right arm overhead and reaching. Full deep breath in. And on your slow exhale, just melt the body down. Very nice. Okay, release that ankle if it's up there. Bring the knees back. Level out the pelvis and just a couple windshield wipers right and left just to kind of work that out. And once those knees go over to one side, we'll just kind of roll over with them and bring ourselves to a seat. Again, always nice to have a towel or a blanket to sit on that crease of the blanket so that the hips, the pelvis settles in. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's bring the soles of the feet together here in a seated cobbler pose. As you hold on to the ankles, flare those toes, let them fall back towards the top of the foot. Bring the thumbs into the inner arch, maybe give it a nice little massage as you draw those heels in a little bit closer. Again, opening up through the inner thighs, and just take a gentle bounce. Good, pausing here, slide those feet out just a little bit further. Take a little bit of rock so that you know you're even on your sit bones. Draw those hands down underneath the calves to rest at the ankle or the shin. We're going to use those hands as a little bit of leverage to draw the heart forward. Nice straight spine. And then begin to round in. So loosening up the low back and the spine. So the hamstrings, the low back, the glutes, the whole body is connected. So as you roll in and drop your head down into this big diamond shape here, where can you relax? Where do you feel the muscles are tight? Send your focus there. Use your breath. Tell your body it's in a safe, safe place. 5 breaths. Very slowly. With the inhale, we will restack through the spine, release the hands, nice and slow. Draw the knees together. Slip them over to one side. Arrive in your all fours. A couple cat and cows, or maybe since we're doing hips, just sway the hips one side and the other. Front body, back body, as you mindfully move through your breath in your cat-cow. And returning to that neutral spine, we're just going to gather that belly in, extend the left leg out to the side, coming into this gate position. Toes are pointing forward. The belly's drawn in and the hands are resting right underneath their shoulders. Press into the palms, nice length into the back body. Why don't we tuck those right toes just to kind of work into that right foot. Taking a full deep breath, and on your exhale, set those hips back halfway. And then inhale, return to that neutral. Let's take 4. So slowly drop the hips back towards that right heel. And inhale, use your core and the power of the hips to bring it back up. Last one. On this one, as you set those hips back, hold them halfway wherever you can sustain that with breath. Come down onto your forearms. Good. So we're just going to pause here. Straight spine still. That belly is still nice and engaged. Set the hips back. It's not a resting pose. It's not sitting back there on the heel. 2 more breaths. Very good. Inhale, brings it back up to that neutral. Come back onto the hands. Take that left leg, swing it back behind you so that it's even with your hip. Good. Little baby push-ups here. We're going to take 5, nice and slow. So the nose is going to come down towards your mat as that left leg points the toes and goes up towards the ceiling. Gather the belly, gather the breath. Big breath in. Exhale everything, elbows in close to the body, lower down slow. Squeeze those glutes. Inhale, we come back. Exhale, elbows in, nose comes down, toes go up and back. 3 more on your own, slow as you can go. Last one. And then draw that knee back to meet the right. Tuck both toes under and just set the hips back. Reach the fingertips forward. Just take a nice extended child's pose. Big breath in. Return back to your table. Again, a couple cat-cows or any movement that feels good. And we're going to move to the other side. So as you're ready, right leg's going to extend out to the side. Toes are forward. Hands are planted right underneath your shoulders. Belly's drawn in. And as you're ready, we'll begin. Left toes tucked under. Set those hips back towards that left heel. And then draws back up on the inhale. So exhale all the air as the hips go back. Inhale to come up. 3 more on your own. As you enter into this last one, we're going to hold and hover here. So set those hips back. Maybe come down onto your forearms. Straight spine, head right in line with the spine. Good. Hover those hips. Maybe sink them a little bit more. Very active pose. Notice your breath. It'll tell you whether you've gone too far. And if you're yawning, maybe you haven't gone far enough. 3 more rounds of breath, nice and easy. Next inhale, we'll transition back to that neutral. So come off of the forearms, planting the hands again underneath the shoulders. We're going to take that right leg, swing it around behind you, level with the hips. Point the right toes. Keep the elbows in close to the body as you lower the head and raise the toes up as far as you can. Squeeze the glutes here. Inhale brings it back up. Exhale, we lower, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Press it back up. 3 more on your own. As you return, bring the big toe mounds together. Let the knees go as wide as you can now. Come down, stacking the palms. Rest the head on the top of the hands. Elbows are wide. So with your hips sinking back towards the heels, wide-legged child's pose, opening up the hips here. If you're staying for the 20-minute practice, this is where we'll leave you. So resting your head right on the hands, turning off your device, coming into your body, into your breath, into your day. And we'll see you tomorrow for our Friday flow. If you're staying with us for the 60-minute class, 3 nice, full, deep breaths. Next inhale, begin to lift the torso, walk the hands towards the body. Bring the knees in. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips and find a downward facing dog. And I'm going to just move mats so the camera angle's better. So in your dog, start with bending the knees first. So you can really get those hips up as high as you can. Use those palms to press the palms away, but to send the hips back towards the back of the mat. Then one leg's going to straighten as the other knee bends. Switch it out, really bend into the other knee and press the opposite heel down. So moving here nice and slow as you pedal out your dog. Again, beginning to feel into the stretch in the back of the legs. Take a moment to notice if you're holding your head up. See if you can let the head go, relaxing through the neck, drawing the belly in. And then we'll come up high onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees and look at your thumbs. And slowly, little baby steps, we'll move to the top of our mat. When you arrive at the top of the mat, again, just allow yourself to fold. The whole torso is spilling over the thighs. The head hangs. Maybe shake out that head, shake out the neck. Maybe sway the hips. And then coming back to that forward fold. Take that right foot, cross it over the left so that the pinkies kind of come together. They don't have to actually meet. The back leg will be straight, the front knee bent. See if you can fold over. Again, just beginning to open up the left back leg. Watch the head. One more breath. And then we'll return the right foot. And we'll take that left foot across the right, the pinkies to meet. Now the left knee will be bent and we'll straighten through the right leg. Notice what you feel here. One more breath. And then left foot will come back. Send the feet hip distance apart. Take a moment just maybe to hold on to the elbows just to bring a little bit more weight into the forward fold. And here maybe send some weight into the balls of the feet. Notice how that might change the stretch. And nice and slow, we'll release the hands. We'll take a slow roll all the way up to stand. Let the arms go out wide. Let the arms reach up to the ceiling. Find that prayer, maybe a little back bend. And then take a moment and flow, hands through heart center, take a fold. Inhale to that half lift, straight spine. Exhale, return to a deeper fold. And inhale, rise up and reach out, reach up. Maybe that back bend. And again, bow forward. Half lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Reach out and reach up. Arch through the spine. Take two more on your own now. Your breath, your movement. And taking your own time, we're going to meet in prayer Tadasana at the top of the mat. So maybe just closing down your eyes. We'll wait for all of us to Join here. Notice your breath. Soften the shoulders down and back. Release the jaw. Nice work. Inhale, reaches the arms way overhead. Arms out to the side as you swan dive forward. You take the half lift. Bring the hands down to the mat or your block. Step the right foot back. Runner's lunge first. So press into those fingertips or your block. Send that heart towards the top of your mat. Heel is up in the back. Then gently drop that knee down, untuck the toes. Again, same thing here. Space, lift the heart. Deep breath. Walk the hands up to the thigh. Press into the thigh so that you can come out, level out the hips, and then come back down halfway. So again, we're not dumping the whole body forward. We're just coming down halfway and feeling right into that hip flexor. Spine is nice and straight. Taking a full deep breath. Lift the arms overhead. Reach it up. Then float the arms back down behind you, interlaced. Press the fist away from the body. Open up the chest, open up the shoulders. Release, let those arms go right back up. Come back to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step it forward to your fold. To your half lift. And to your fold. Plant the hands. Left foot now goes back. Runner's lunge first. Set it up. Separate the feet. Press into the block or your fingertips. Find the length. Heart towards the top of the mat. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Take a full breath. Get nice and long here in your low lunge. Walk the hands onto the thigh. Press that thigh away as you lift out of your lunge. Level the hips and then come back down halfway. Very controlled. Lift the arms up to the ceiling. Stretch it up. Float the hands back behind you. Other thumb on top. Squeeze, send the fist away. Again, let the head drop back, the chest open, the shoulders open. Inhale, release. Arms go right back up. And then bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step it up, find your fold. Your half lift and your fold. Inhale, reach the arms out and up as you come to stand. Take the baby back bend and draw the hands to heart. Gather your breath. Low or runner's lunge, pyramid sequence. Inhale, reaching the arms way up high. Swan dive forward, take a bow. Halfway lift and fold. Hands to block or fingerprints. Right foot steps back. Runner's lunge, separate the feet. Back heel up, chest is forward. Finding your breath. Keep that back heel up as you straighten through that front leg. Keep the foot flat initially up front. And then come back to your runner's lunge. So just flow this gently, straightening and bending the front knee. Notice the spine is long, the chest is lifted. Take two more just to coax it here. And the next time that leg is straight, press into the heel, lift the toes. So the front toes are lifted, the back heel is lifted. The spine is straight, the chest again, reaching for the top of the mat. Take 3 breaths. Lower that front foot. Place both hands inside that foot and walk it to the long edge of your mat. As you pivot the toes in, heels out. Hands right underneath the shoulders. Take in a breath. Walk the hands forward. Keep the hips back, just like your down dog position, but no weight into the wrist or the hands. Keep walking like a heart-melting pose. Let the chest relax. Let the soft tissue under the arms relax. Let the head relax. 2 breaths. Walking the hands back towards the body, flip those fingers around so they're facing behind you, and keep walking those hands right behind you. And as you do so, the head just naturally falls down towards the mat. Let the shoulders round in. And enjoy 2 breaths here. Let that head hang. Again, notice if you bring weight into the balls of the feet, if that is any change into that hamstring stretch. And then gently bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing out. Take a bend into the right knee, so a little bit of a side bend, stretching all the way into the left inner thigh. Press it back up and take it over. Bend into the left knee, getting that stretch into the right side. And then on your own, as fast or as slow as feels good, work it back and forth. Good. The next time you're on that right knee, the right knee is the one closest to the back of the mat. We're going to just walk our hands around and find ourselves in a runner's lunge towards the back. So the right knee is forward, the back left heel is up. Press into your hands, send the heart forward. And then we'll begin to straighten into that front leg, keep the front foot flat. And then return to your runner's lunge. So we're going to take 4 more, nice and easy, stretching nice and slow, the hamstring, the calf, and also working into that front ankle. Good. Last one. Hold your runner's lunge here. Then press back into your pyramid, and this time press into the heel. Lift those front toes. Keep the back heel lifted. Any bend in the knee is fine. One more breath. And then we'll replace that front foot down. Place both hands inside the foot and walk yourself back to the long edge of your mat. Good. Take the hands to each ankle. Use again that grip. Nice straight spine. Draw the body down. Let the head hang. Releasing that. Take a walk towards the top of your mat, pivoting yourself around. Back in that runner's lunge. Step the back foot in to meet the right. Forward fold. And a half lift. Nice straight spine. And fold. And rise up. Bend the knees, press into the feet. Let the arms go out and up. Maybe that back bend. And hands to heart. Now we're going to move into our pyramid series. Figure 4. If the weight in the body is too much, just get over on your back and take your figure 4 that way, or do a seated figure 4. Okay, so inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, we swan dive. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release and fold. Head hangs. Plant the hands. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. Find that plank. Then lift the hips high, press the hips away, downward facing dog. Full breath. Flatten the left foot as you reach the right leg up in your three-legged dog. Take a moment here. Then draw the knee into the nose as you come into that core plank. We did this yesterday. Extend it back up. Reach long. Send the knee across the body to the left elbow. Return, three-legged dog. And now this time, right knee to right elbow as you move into plank. Then drop that knee down. Come onto the outside of the calf. And then slide yourself down. Pigeon pose, that's the word I was looking for. So proud pigeon, press into the palms, find length in the spine. You can always put a block or a towel underneath that right hip. See if you can keep the hips nice and level. Press into the palm one more time. Take a full breath. And then lower onto the forearms. Maybe stack fists to rest the head. Again, the hips stay level. Come into your breath. If you want a little more, stretch through that quad nice and easy, bend into that back knee, and just lift the heel any amount and draw it in towards the glute. Again, upper body, breath nice and soft. Gently lower that foot down if it's up. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders to press your way back up. Then sink over onto that right hip so that you can circle that back leg out to the side and forward. I'll move in a little bit here. So we're going to circle it around, and we're going to place that foot on the outside of the right thigh, pressing down through the big toe. Take the hands, hug that left knee in. Again, let that left hip kind of roll with you here. So another nice stretch for the piriformis. Nice tall spine. Inhale, lift those arms up. And we're going to rotate the body over to the left so we can hook that elbow to the outside of the left thigh, left hand behind you. Sit up nice and tall. If hooking the elbow doesn't work, just hug the knee in. Again, the stretch here is through the glute from the low back, the piriformis, all the way into that connecting hamstring. Good, one more breath. Rotate back to center and just take a counter bow over to the other side. Good, returning to center. Release that left foot. Come back onto your all fours. Maybe a cat and cow will feel good. As you tuck the toes under, we're going to lift the hips back up. Find that downward facing dog. And again, this time now, left leg is going to lift up towards the ceiling as you press down through that right heel. Good. Bend into the left knee. And as you come into that core plank, knee comes towards the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, get nice and long. Beautiful. Bend the knee. Let that knee come over towards that right elbow. Send it back. Three-legged dog. And bend the knee. Knee comes to the left elbow. We're going to set that shin down. So coming into pigeon on this side. Slide the back leg long. Again, support that left hip so that the hips stay level. Press into the palms. Nice long spine. And then come onto the forearms. Stacking again the fist. Rest the head down. Awareness to the hips here, nice and level. We'll just kind of stretch out that quad. Anytime we work hamstrings, we want to remember the quad as well. So take in a breath. Lift the right heel any amount. Draw it in towards the glute so that you can feel that quad engage. Take it as deep as you want. If you can reach back there for the ankle, biggest stretch yet. We just don't want to overdo it. One more breath. And we'll return the right foot to the mat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders to press the torso up. Nice proud pigeon. Sink over onto that left hip. So you can take that right leg and swing it out to the side and forward. And then drop it on the outside of the left thigh. Really planting the foot, pressing into the big toe. Draw the knee into the chest. Take a moment here. And we'll go for that little bit of a twist. So that left elbow can hook outside the right knee, right hand behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Take a twist. And again, if that doesn't work for you this morning, hug that right knee in with the hand. And again, the focus here is feel from that low back through the glute into the hamstring. And then we'll release that. Bring the torso forward. Take that counter bow over to the side. Pressing your way back up to center. Unravel. Let's send the legs long. Heels pressing down, toes are flared. Finding our Dandasana, hands outside of the hips. Use those finger pads. Press down so you can really stretch the spine long. Shoulders round back. Good. Lift the arms up towards the ceiling. And then take a fold. So here, straight spine. Wherever those hands land is where they land. But what I'd like is the right hand to the left leg, the left hand to the right. So whether it's the calves, the thighs, the ankles, or whether you can reach for the blade edge of the foot, use that grip, draw the chest forward, lengthen the spine. Heart to toes here, spread those toes. And then allow the body here to melt. So maybe the elbows come down, the head comes down. We tuck in through the chin. We let the head fall, rounding through the shoulders, breathing in that space behind the heart. And then we're going to uncrisscross. Maybe the hands reach for the outside of the foot. If they don't get there, I want you to do this. I want you to gently bend your knees and then reach for it. And then maybe one at a time or both, just slide the heels any amount. The legs don't have to be straight. Heart lifts. And we'll gently release that, the hands coming flat outside the legs. We're going to slide those hands towards our hips. We're going to just continue to slide them as we come onto our forearms. Pressing into those elbows to again lift the chest, let the head fall back into the upper trapezius, open the throat, open the mouth. One more breath, sigh it out. And then slow as you can, begin to come onto that low back, the mid back, the shoulder blades. Let the knees draw into the chest. Give them a nice hug. Spread the knees wide. Take the blade edge of the foot. Full happy baby here. So whether you're going to rock it out, if you rock it out, if you want to bring in a little bit of core work, when you rock maybe over to the right, rock all the way over so you're on the outside of the thigh, the outside of the calf, and then use your core to pull yourself back up to center and rock it over to the left. A little bit of double work there. If you feel like you need one more stretch into the legs, send the legs in a wide V. Let those heels press away, the toes point down towards the shin. And again, we just let those legs open to where they want to open. So whether you're staying in your happy baby or the wide V, take one more breath. And then straighten both legs up towards the ceiling. Bring them together. Draw those thighs in close to the body, just like a forward fold, except you're on your back. Take in a breath. Maybe you feel the stretch in the fingers and the wrists. Maybe the stretch to the outside of the shoulders. It's all working together here. And then bring the soles of the feet together overhead. Heels come together. Bring them down halfway like a floating cobbler pose. And then release the feet to the mat so that they come to rest on the blade edge. Soles of the feet together. The knees are wide, just right where we started the practice. A hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. Lifting that chest and squeezing the shoulder blades underneath you so that the shoulders come away from the neck and the ears. A slight tuck of the chin to bring length into the back of the neck. Close down the eyes. Feel the support again of your mat. Feel the support of this practice. Join me in that rhythmic breath now to just settle and calm the body, the spirit, and the mind. Inhaling for 3 and exhaling slowly for 6. So let all the air out. Breathe in through the nose to the count of 3. Exhale slowly to the count of 6. Inhale for 3. Release the body and the breath to the count of 6. And on your own here. Each breath taking you deeper. Every exhale, the body gets heavier. Feel free to stay right here, returning to your own rhythmic breath, or draw the knees together. Come into that traditional Shavasana, letting the legs go out wide. Allow the feet to fall open. The arms extend away from the body, the palms are up. And here, just feel your connection again to the mat, where the heels meet, where the hips are heavy, the shoulders, the back of the head. And in your own breath, take a few moments here before you begin this busy day to just center on a little bit of self-care. And like we always say, it's not selfish, it's self-care. Shavasana. Bringing a conscious breath now back into the body. Take a full inhale in through the nose. Expand that inhale through the chest, through the ribs, maybe even to the belly. And as you exhale, bring the feet together at the bottom of the mat. Take the arms overhead. Find that full body stretch. Drawing the knees into the chest one last time. Give them a hug. Let that tailbone roll up. Maybe rock one side to the other. And then rocking all the way over, we'll find our way back into a seat to close our practice. So again, if you would like, sit up on a towel. Any position. It doesn't have to be a cross-legged. Any position. Just stacking the spine, nice and tall, shoulders up and back. Take a moment, draw a deep breath in. And on the exhale, bring the hands to prayer at the heart center and bow your head to the prayer. Repeating with me our loving mantra. May we be well in body, mind, and spirit. May we be at peace in our internal and external worlds. May we feel supported, connected, and loved. And may we always feel vibrant, healthy, and free. Thank you for joining me in today's practice. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Namaste, my friends.